hours after President Muhammadu Buhari signified interest in continue after his first term, the reactions have been mixed and strong. And the Nigerian government's performance remains under scrutiny as the country's huge youth population feeling the impact of the government. And thanks for joining in, everyone. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbale in Abuja, the nation's capital. It is 311 days to the general elections, and there have been a lot of debates already about 2019, especially as the president has said is interested in seeking Nigerians' vote to return him to the office after his first term. We'll give you all the strong reactions to the president's declaration. Let's start with what the military is saying regarding the crucial 2019 general elections. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has read the Riot Act to soldiers and officers of the Nigerian Army. He said any soldier found wanting in a discharge of his duty will be severely dealt with. He also warned that as elections draw near, all soldiers must shun any form of inducement and remain non-partisan, as such conduct will be decisively dealt with.
Let me state emphatically here that the unity and integrity of Nigeria lies on the military and the Nigerian Army in particular. Therefore, any act inimical to the unity and integrity of this country by personnel of the Nigerian Army will be decisively dealt with. The Nigerian Army must remain apolitical and professionally responsive in the discharge of all its responsibilities. General officers commanding and field commanders at all levels are therefore warned that anyone that runs foul of his professional ethics will be appropriately dealt with. You are all enjoined to continue to remind officers and soldiers under command to remain non-partisan and be guided by the stipulated code of conduct and rules of engagement in the discharge of their duties, particularly in the coming 2019 general elections.
Well, go to the streets, check the tweets on Twitter, the posts on social media generally. You will see strong and mixed reactions to President Muhammadu Buhari's declaration to seek re-election. Today, we asked some lawmakers to share their thoughts on this matter. Listen to them. Then we will give you those reactions in a moment. Well, you remember the last time, of course, when the president said, is there different reactions trailing, well, in his party, outside of his party, a lot of reactions. Let's get some opposition reaction now. We have the national chairman of YPP, Mr. Bishop Amachree, joins us on the program tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
How does your party, for example, and perhaps the other 60-something political parties receive the declaration of the president to seek re-election?
When you say declaration, well, let me start by saying that it is within the fundamental right of every citizen of this country to seek any election of whatever magnitude, provided that indeed you go through the requirements of the Constitution and indeed you are not found any constitutional delinquent to contest for that position. But again, the truth of the matter is that we need to depart from the era of deception to era of reality. And that's just one of my kind opinions. You need not to be told as a leader whether you are to seek re-election or to honorably take a bow and go. It depends on your performance. When you underperform, it's like a game of football. You take the first 11 to the field, and some who didn't perform, and you want to go for the next leg, and you take those same people there practically you're not going
That's
to.
That's your reaction to, you are saying, what exactly are you saying about President Buhari's declaration?
No, for me, he has the right to declare, but as far as I'm concerned, it's really showing, the picture is really showing that he has not really met the real expectation of Nigerians.
The expectations of people like you.
Oh, yes.
In the opposition.
It's not about, you see, I think that we should begin not to, it's not everything that we must play politics. It's about reality.
What's the reality?
The reality is that you and I know, Shem, you are in this country. People have been crying of hunger. People have been crying. Even the insecurity that this government has, been telling people that they have made tremendous achievement. Yes, to some quarters, okay, we can say they have done to some quarters well. But in the other side too, if insecurity, when people are hungry, how have you, settled that issue of insecurity? Because when hungry, people are hungry,
so,
listen.
Hunger has been around the world for a long time. I mean, when you say hungry, we must put it in perspective, because a lot of people that are watching now, they're not illiterate. They are educated Nigerians who know that the economy perhaps was not in a good shape at some point. Perhaps now we could say we are out of recession.
And then those
are what the figures are saying.
Who have thrown the economy to that ship? Who is responsible to that? Didn't he meet the economy well when he came on board? He met the economy well. And the same government came out to tell us that we have gone to recession. The same. Look, these things are politics. They are playing politics.
So from the opposition's camp, is it looking like there is a major threat? Because there are speculations that maybe the president was not going to run. Does it look like he's going to have an easy run if he gets the ticket of his party to be the candidate?
See, even the party are talking about, the APC, the APC is already in comatose.
Comatose, what do you mean by comatose? Means that something is half dead, half alive.
Oh yeah, they have serious problem in APC. They have serious problem in APC. They have not been organized till they look. The APC scenario is like a scenario where you send a child to the forest, or your child goes to the forest for hunting, and he kills an antelope, brings the antelope back home for meat preparation, and then after preparing the meat, you're now denying the child to eat, that meat. That is what is happening with
right, let's conclude the conversation now, because we need to move into some other issues on the program. For you as a politician, if you look at the antecedent of President Buhari as a politician, between 2007, 2011, and 2015, he's consistent as a politician. He's pulled that weight. He's pulled those millions of votes. Should the opposition be weary of this kind of profile of a politician?
No, it's not about the profile. It's about the performance the man has been. He has been.
But the profile is reality.
No, but
he has.
Look, and first, let me clear the impression of my brother there, that I'm not here to campaign. Okay, we are here to talk about the reality terms of whatever. If I have said that this government has failed, it is what everybody can see, that the government has failed. But going back to your question, you don't need to tell someone. And I think it's quite unfortunate that it is in this part of the world, in African continent, that people have refused to really appreciate or celebrate what is called integrity. We have seen some other part of the world where people voluntarily, out of volition, resign because they also know that they have underperformed. But here in this part of the world, it's very difficult for people. And I think that is a kind of example, by the grace of God, that the YPP is coming to give to Nigerians.
We must allow you to go now. The national chairman of the Young Progressive Party, Mr. Bishop Amachree. Thank you so much. One will almost call you Bishop Amachree, because that's not a title, that's your name.
Yeah, it's my name.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mr. Amachree, for your time. We'll take a short break. But when we come back, you remember that Bill Gates dropped a bombshell. Well, about human capital development in Nigeria. Are we in trouble as a nation in this regard? Don't go anywhere. The conversation just got interesting. We'll be back.